Why totalitarian states cannot safeguard civilizational heritage. This is Jersey's news commentary channel. When many people discuss the Jiangnan Spring incident at the Nanjing Museum, their first reaction is anger, the second is to demand accountability, and the third often stops at explanations such as poor management or institutional loopholes. If the discussion ends there, it deliberately avoids a deeper question: why, under a totalitarian system, civilizational heritage is almost destined to be impossible to protect. The reason is simple: the logic by which civilizational heritage exists is fundamentally incompatible with the logic of totalitarian power. Civilizational heritage is a form of public trust that transcends individuals, regimes, and eras. It requires those in power to acknowledge three facts. First, the artifacts do not belong to you. Second, you are only a temporary custodian. Third, oversight must be independent of power. Now consider the southward relocation of the Palace Museum's collections from 1933 to 1945. In 1933, as Japanese aggression closed in on North China, the Palace Museum decided to move its most important treasures south. A total of 13,491 crates including paintings and calligraphy, bronzes, ceramics, jade, and archival documents were shipped in stages. The route began in Beiping, passed through Tianjin, Shanghai, and Nanjing, then split into western routes toward Chongqing, Baxian, Leshan, Anhui. Japanese air raids struck Nanjing and Wuhan. Transport ships on the Yangtze faced constant bombing threats. In the southwest, roads collapsed and transport relied on human labor and pack animals. Funding was scarce. Escort personnel endured long periods without adequate food or pay. Yet every crate was numbered. Every unsealing required multiple witnesses. Every transfer had a written handover. Even at the most chaotic moments, inventory and verification procedures were maintained. After 8 years of war, the final audit showed no systematic theft. Individual damage cases were documented, traceable, and attributed, an exceptionally rare case in world museum history. This demonstrates one thing clearly: as long as institutions prevent power and personal possession from intervening, civilization can be preserved even in wartime. By contrast, under CCP rule, artifacts are borrowed for research and never returned. Originals are replaced after copying. Collections disappear. Archives are incomplete. Accountability dissolves into vague management issues. Because under a totalitarian system, power is never civilization's custodian, it is its presumed owner. Therefore, the Nanjing Museum incident is not an isolated case, but a moment when a structural crack was briefly illuminated. What it reveals is the collapse of the state's credibility as a guardian of civilization. Follow me as I help decode China. Next episode: the institutional logic behind the Nanjing Museum incident.